Hello! In this video, I would like to share my process creating a music manager for the game Ancient Hacker. So, I'm going to show you first a folder called Music Manager, and there I created the BP Music Manager, Blueprint Music Manager. I only have a couple songs and I'm using layers. Here I have the purple section is one song and the yellow section is another song. And at the top I have some permissions to access each of the songs. So the first thing I have is that's okay, I'm gonna find which one is the current level. So in begin play I get current level name. I'll promote the variable so I can check if it's true. In this case I was checking if it's main halls. So if you're in main halls, it's gonna trigger this custom event, and then this custom event is actually the song for that level. That's all the music for that level, and I have it in layers. So I loaded the, if you can see, it says main halls key melody. And the melody, all those I created cues, 1 2 3 4 cues. I have a couple versions, one where the melody is incomplete and one where the melody is complete. So for example, when the melody is incomplete, let me play that for you so you can hear. Right, so it's basically just half of the phrase, right? And then you have I have a melody which is the full melody, and then in this case, and you can hear it here, you hear the both parts of the melody, the question and the answer. Here it is. Yeah, and the melody is very sparse because in that level that's what I wanted. I wanted something very sparse and kind of floaty sounding. So that's the difference. And then I have another layer that is main keys harmony. So it's like what the chords are playing in the background. I could show you that. Let me see. This is a great way to slowly add things, you know. And then you have the rhythm. So in the rhythm I just have drums and a couple different percussions I used. Let's listen to it. See if I can remember. Yeah, I have some I have drum set and I have some percussion with samples from my sound effects. Actually, I used them. I used some samples from books, Fallen and Pages Flipping, and I added that as a drum layer in addition to the drum set. And also I used oh yeah, a Gamelan ensemble of one of my plugins. It's a Gamelan ensemble. What company is it? I forgot. I'm sorry, I can't remember. Sample Sonic, I think it is. Anyways, so that's basically it, right? 3 layers in this case, but it allows you, I can slowly add them and take them out. So for example, at the beginning of the song, so I create an array for those and promoted a variable, and then mean, this is triggered by this custom event, right? I did it do once. I'll explain later why do once. For now, just pretend it's not there. So I have the variable of the array, so I can, the reason is because then I can use it later. So I say for each loop we're gonna play, so every time it loops you'll play it. So in this case you're playing the music and everything is gonna start at 0, because I don't want the music to start all of it at once, you know. So I'm starting the kind of like prepping the music, everything is volume down, then I can adjust the volume for whatever I want. So in this case I want it, so I call the array that I promoted as a variable over here, and then I get this node get, and then I can I put a float which represents the value from the array. So in this case I started with 2 and 3, right? 2 and 3, which are which are layer 2 and 3 coincidentally. So I start with those 2 layers. I ended up doing that. I could easily just stay with piano, and I tried that, but I think it didn't work as well with the music. But it's an option. It's nice that I have this, because I can maybe in another level use just the piano, you know. Or I can maybe go back to the DAW and just put those 2 together and just have 2 layers. That's the other option. But in the meantime, that's what I had, and then now that's just the beginning. But then there is this event, and it's triggered by this blueprint of the collectible items. So if I go up to the top, the section of permissions, I have one row music. We're going to ignore that for now, but here is music, loot. Here's what I'm calling it, and I'm checking in the collectibles. I'm going to be calling this event music loot, and the event is going to basically check which level we are at, so I have a variable current level which was already set here, right? That's the variable current level, right? So here I'm checking, is that current level, is the current level room 1, which is first level, or is the current level room 2, which is third level? If it's main halls, then it's true. So when I call that event from collectibles, this one, music loot, it's only gonna trigger for main halls if we are on main halls. We're gonna trigger loot main halls, right? And I put this condition, just make sure, you know, that it's true that we're in the main halls level with the current level. And then we have a couple things. So I have this, before the do once, let me just talk about this. Is we're adding array 0, which from our main halls array is actually the, let me show you, is the full melody, right? Because we were playing we're not playing any melody at the beginning, we're just playing these 2 layers, right? Now we're gonna bring full melody. Now what you saying, where I'm getting the full melody? I'm doing the full melody, but only for 30 seconds. So that's what I have, this delay here. The full melody is playing for 30 seconds. This is some debugging thing. I think I might be able to erase it, but in the meantime just ignore it. I was having some issues, but I think they were related to something else. I might erase that eventually. But after 30 seconds of delay, we're gonna readjust the volume back to 0, so the melody is gonna be out again, because the player is gonna be looking for all the loot. Once it finds all the loot, then they can start collecting it with the drone. And oh yeah, so I said do once because if the player for some reason overlaps another loot within those 30 seconds, I don't want to have double melody and then it sounds too loud, because then you have 2 samples going on at the same time. Once it's off, then you can start over again. So I just wanted to create that cycle, make sure there is no bugs or anything. Oh, by the way, one more thing. So here I'm using this node. It's called the adjust volume node, and I have here a variable already. I put volume, set volume to 2, and okay, that's that one. And then the last action, the last event for that level is from the collected sounds. So now let's look at collectible. In my game, the player is not able to collect the loot by himself or by themselves. It can only do it through the drone. And so when he casts the BP drone, then we have, in that case, there's no that main Halls melody is not activated there. Instead, I have a different way of activating it when the drone collects the loot. When you're able to collect the item with the drone, I can press tab and I collect the audio, get actor of class, so we get the music manager again. That's how I'm accessing the music manager. I don't know why I promoted the variable. It was not really necessary in that point, but so then you get music loot, and that triggers the music manager loot. And then we realize, okay, well, we're in main halls, so we're gonna do that next thing, which is you collected the items, all of them, so you're gonna get music that sounds different. So in this case, I'm casting to the game mode because I want to know how many collectibles are left, right? I say if it's 0, which means if nothing has been collected, I don't want nothing to happen. The minute you collect the first one, and after that, then it's gonna be true. And what it is this one is related to later. Ignore this for now. We're gonna call 0, which is the melody, full melody. I raise the volume so now you can hear it. Then we delay for 30 seconds, kind of like before, and then we bring it back to 0. And then once we collected the first item, we're gonna play the incomplete, the answer melody, which is just the second part of each phrase, and that's gonna be, we raise the volume for that level. That's array number 1, right? So in this case, once that's completed, we start over again, because I don't want, if the player is so fast that it collects 2 items at once, I don't want any bugs or issues, so I just decided to do it like that. And now that's why this comes in. I want to make sure that when we are collecting the items, that the answer melody is turned down to 0. I want to play this level a little bit. Here I am. My character is kind of like a ghost. So let me show you. So for example, I know there is one right here next to this visitor of the library. So hear the melody now. It's gonna be for 30 seconds. Yeah, it's gone. We're back to just chords. Just drums and chords. I'm gonna collect. I'm gonna get the drone. Here it is. This is spoilers alert, by the way. This is my drone.
Wait.
Oops. Now I'm not using the drone anymore, but here I am gonna use it again. Actually, I'm gonna show you where the loot is. can collect. There's one right here. Closer. There it is. There's the drum. I have to work it out because I don't know if it's gonna help. Oh yeah, it's been 30 seconds. So now I'm gonna collect this item. We're gonna get the melody again for 30 seconds. Yeah. Well, the intro is kind of mostly chordal, but there's a higher melody. It's a little bit higher pitch. Yeah. You hear it? Now, the melody is here for 30 seconds, but then when it's gone, we're still gonna have melody. It's just gonna be the answers. So let's wait for that to happen. Yeah. That's the answer. See, there is no melody here, it's just the answer. Here comes the answer. But let me show you now, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna show you a different level. That's this level. I'll show you, this time I'm gonna do it quicker because now we kind of understand how this works. Room, this is level 1. So level 1, what we have is light percussion, then you have some books, some synthesizer sounds, I have some whooshes, so a lot of sound effects, and I have the bass and cellos there in that layer. Separate in layer 2 I have synths and some woodwinds, and then in layer 3 I have cellos. There's a cello solo right there because it's a melody, yeah, cello, and ancient library lows and low, short lows, right? Now I'm pretty sure on the where is, yeah, so actually I do have more layers for this song, for this piece, but since I'm gonna have the full orchestral epic, there's some epic drums and everything, but some taiko drums and stuff, but I'm gonna add them later because they sound so epic that I don't want them in the first level. This is just like a little, hey, be a introduction to the game, and I want it to be fun and exciting, but not like oh my gosh, we're gonna conquer the world. That's later. Ha. So let me play it for you first so you hear it, and then I'll explain it. I have to do those basic moves first. It's like a little tutorial, like. Fine. So the music, there's no music at the beginning. You're just like, what am I doing? But you might click on some items by accident. I know it's an item here. There you go. There's no music. It's just that. He's like, who's this guy? What's going on? Are these people normal? But that guy's kind of weird looking. And you're like around in there. You're like, oh, what is this? It's like a book. Okay, let's show me. Check it out, and then we get closer. Oh, press X. Okay, press X. And then the music is on. It's the same amount of layers. You have drums, bass, some synthesizer, like synthesized drumming. Alright. Oh, let's collect one of these items because that's what's going to create the change. Now this song has an ABA section, form ABAA, and so it's looping through that form. Just I'm adding layers, so it's nice because it changes pretty, so it doesn't get too boring, you know. Now there's a little bug here. I can actually pick up. Okay. So if I press tab, I'll pick it up and then it's gonna change. So now it's getting mixed. You have synthesizer. See now synthesize. And I think there's another one here. The synthesizer is playing some melodies. Those ads. The principle is the same. So I have a bunch of layers. I create an array for each loop. I'm gonna play the audio component, which is all these components I added here, all those cues, right? And I'll adjust the volume in this case to 0, so everything starts at 0. There's no music at the beginning, but then I select the ones that I want to go up. In this case I selected 0, 1, 2 and 3. That's what starts, and then I adjust the volume to 2 with my variable, which I show you already, right? Variable is 2, and that's the beginning of the what we heard when I activated the drone. That's 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's check, double check. So that's basically the first layer activates all that stuff in the first layer, and it's activated by the drone, BP drone, and it's just another, you call the event from there. I'm not gonna go into detail because you guys understand what's going on. But then here is the same thing. So we checked at the beginning when we collect the loot with the drone. It sends a command to the music manager, and it says, okay, music loot 1. That's what I called it. And it checks, okay, are we in room 1? Yes. Okay, so play Ancient Library loot 1, which is this second event that I created, Ancient Library loot 1. We cast to game mode again because we want to know. That's what I have, the collectibles. So how many items have I collected? If it's true, it plays. If I collected 3, or if I collected 1, because if there is 3 left, basically that's what this is saying. If there is 3 left, then you play. Then this layer 4 joins the party. I added 2 to that level layer, which is what is layer? Ancient loop synth. So it's the synth, yeah, what we heard. Then we can connect the second one, 6 and 5, which is the cellos and the cello solo and the low shorts, yeah, because there's some pizzicato action. It's just we didn't hear it because we didn't get that far. When there is only 1 left, what happens is we eliminate layer 3, right? And when there is 0 left, then we eliminate layer 4, turn the volume down on that one. We waited, that's the final, that's anything. So I wanted to have 5-second delay and then slowly phase out the other layers. So 6 and 5 are gone after 5 seconds. Then after 5 seconds I take layers 2 and 3, and after 5 seconds I take 0, 1, 2, and I think that's it. That's basically how I did the layers for that level. We have certain events, and at the end we have a chain of events with delays, so that it takes us to the end. There is nothing at the end. It's pretty cool. I love this. I think I'm done talking. So hope this was helpful for everyone. Okay, bye bye.